To be fair, I was sort of doubting Fnatic Onyx lineup just because in the early game it's very, very squishy. Super squishy. You got the Cho, you got the R-Lot, you need a little bit of item builds in order to come online, in order to be able to tank enough damage. But the way that they executed it, the way that they play around Red Giants, and I'm not saying that, like, remember we were saying like we were favoring Red Giants' draft a little bit more, but they were always canceling ultimates and canceling setups all over the entirety of the game. So I think it's down to execution. So the draft is already ready. We see the Fanny being banned out and the Harris being banned out. So we don't have a repeat draft coming in on the side of Red Giants.
What this does mean is that Zaskin as well as Zushin might actually make it through the draft this time around.
Probably.
It doesn't seem very good if Red Giants decides to ban it out now, unless they've got something else up their sleeves.
Yeah. So, is this gonna be a Zaskman? I think.
Oh, actually, Stormy could very well play the Lunox again. Because of how Fnatic Onic likes to coagulate around in all of these team fights. But then again, Kyrie is definitely going to go onto an assassin. Maybe he might be able to first snap pick up a Hayabusa. So that's why they're spending a lot of time to think, do I want to face up against the Zask or anything? But it's actually the R-Lot being banned out. So they're opening up a lot of options for themselves. Because of the way that the Final Slash works, your displacement ability displaces the rest of your setups. Because you want the implosion in, you want to be able to hit all of your crowd controls, and you want to chain stun that. And that's how Red Giants likes to operate. But they opt for the Moskov first. I like this a lot on Chairway.
Now for Red Giants, they could actually go for Kram's hero again, but this time Ruby. They've been playing well with Ruby. It could be used as well by Yum, so the flexibility of the hero is there, and could actually secure another marksman.
Actually, Julian is open too.
Oh, Julian is open.
Sakai could go Julian as well.
So
secure
Ruby and
the early
Julian?
game and then just snowball their way through it. They work optimally like that. If they're forced in a position of late game, then maybe a more high mobility assassin might work. But then Humes needs to play a very early game tank.
It's tough to say because I think there's a lot of different ways that they can take this. I think, picking up the Zaskin, as you mentioned, you called it, the Julian as well, already getting locked in very early on for YRG side. This could be based on what Fnatic Onic has been playing previously, because every single time we saw Fnatic Onic play in day one, it was the Julian. Now they lock in the Hayabusa for themselves. So there's plenty of back and forth between the two.
Yeah, I think they might go for the Ruby or the Minotaur now. I think if they want to go for any of the mages, it would be the Jusin. If not, it's going to be banned out in the second phase, because it's sort of like a natural counter to the Zask, because you have that area control as well. I think Sans might be able to pick that up. So in my opinion, it's just Ruby or the... there we go.
Ruby is I think Ruby is a better option, because for the Minotaur after that, Siri, you just have the Despair Stomp after. Not unlike for the Ruby.
I'm on fire this game.
Yeah, I'm ready for this Ruby finding that Zask.
I mean, it's
outside
not
the spawn.
I mean,
versus a Julian.
I don't think Zask is gonna be as easy to catch. But the Julian, though, if he uses all three of his abilities, he's got like 7 to 8 seconds of praying that this Ruby doesn't find him. But let's see how they're gonna finish off this draft here for the side of Red Giants, right? Because again, we don't see a marksman pick just yet. It could just be like a classic Claude, something that can try and dodge away from these assassins. But when you're looking at Hayabusa, you're just praying somebody else is standing next to you.
I think just give up the gold lane first. Don't need to secure that gold lane. See what they want to pick up, because gold lane is very important. I think if you pick up that Claude first, carry. They want to go for the carry first. I think they're just thinking that this Ruby might be able to flex into the EXP side, and then Keyboy wants to bring out those tanky roam positions as well.
Although for this one with the carry pick as early as now, there's a high chance for heroes like a burst post 4 heroes for Fnatic Onic just to counter this carry. Could be a Farsa.
The Paramis is already banned out, so I think the Farsa actually works
well.
the
Farsa.
In MSC, actually, Sans was just playing Farsa every single game. I think it was like 4 games of just Farsa all the way.
He was playing a lot of Farsa here, but it begs the question, if this Farmis is going to get banned out, does that mean that Red Giants want to say, hey, even if you have the Valentina, we're not going to give you any good ults anyway, so we're really good at, like, quote-unquote, squeeze you out.
Oh, okay, so the Barrett has been banned here by Fnatic Onic.
They might go for a Terizla ban as well for Fnatic Onic. For you, the Red Giants, if they want to play it smart, let's just ban out the Jusin as well. Unless, you know, okay, Jusin is very good over here just because Carry needs that range. It doesn't have that range. So Carry really needs to get up in your face. Carry's one of those marksmen that has the lowest range of all marksmen, so you really need to be able to tank and defend. But knowing Innocent, he's definitely going to build a Thunderbelt. So I think maybe a Jusin ban would be good here for YRG.
I think a couple of things. Number one, I feel like Yudu Red Giants want Sans to pick up an artillery mage that they can punish, right?
Lolita.
They get rid of the Lolita, which does indicate that they could be thinking about like skill shots later down the line. I'm not sure what yet, but as expected, Fnatic Onic decide to ban out the Terizla. Now, this very first pick in the second phase from Yudu Red Giants is going to give us a lot of information on what they've been intending to do with their bans.
So I was thinking of a heavy crowd control tank for Yudu Red Giants, just for the effectivity of having a carry, but Rafaela is not a bad idea for their lineup, actually.
Then they'll be very, very squishy.
Yeah.
So is
But
the Edith.
Edith.
For the role position, if I'm not mistaken. For Fnatic Onic, I think probably an Aurora might work very, very well.
Maybe a
coupled with-
Lilia?
Fairy tale
Oh,
ended with a poisoned apple.
That's
And
a Vexana again, yeah.
Vexana.
Vexana's very, very safe over here for FNOC.
I think overall this is not too bad because now we have guaranteed follow-up, right? If we need somebody to like start things off, if let's say Sans is able to get a really good pick with the Fear, then everybody can slowly collapse on top of it. And despite the fact that they've got the Ruby, it's still an extremely flexible pick here, right? And I think that Yudu Red Giants have positioned well for it, but I don't know whether this is going to compromise the entirety of the comp.
For XP lane, actually, Ruby could very well go into the XP lane. That is... That's
The
Grok.
Grok,
Okay, the Grok. The iframes are very important. I think is just checking the bushes, especially if you're facing up against Edith, natural counter.
Yeah, and the...
And the Zaza actually as well, because
yeah,
of the slow
against the
reduction.
Zask, yeah. So, this is actually a good pick for Fnatic Onic. They can go straight into that Nightmare spawn if that's going to be the problem in front of a team fight. So we're still lacking the if this Edith is for the pause 5 rather, or the XP lane.
I think that this Edith might be thrown into a post 5
Post 5,
position here. It's a little tough to say because if I'm thinking about EXP matchups, it really doesn't matter, right? Because it's just going to be a sandbag of a lane. There we go. We can see the Xborg get locked in here. This gives us the full lineup for both sides. Churros, before we let you go, quickly break it down for us.
The Yudu Red Giants' draft is looking very, very solid once again. Lots of thick, beefy boys like the Edith, like the Xborg will be taking the very hard to take down. But once again, I'm really excited to see a summoning versus a summoner. So like a summoner versus summoner, a draft like a Vexana versus a Zask. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
It could just be one of those battles of the centuries here. Both compositions looking to snowball out of control. Yudu Red Giants looking to equalize it 1-1 against Fnatic Onic, who currently is at match point. Stakes are high. Momentum is high. Can YRG hold on to their win streak, or are they going to fall under the might of the Sky Kings as you start loading in to the land of dawn? This is game number 2 of our best of 3 series, second round of Group B, with Fnatic Onic on the blue side up against Yudu Red Giants on the red side.
Okay, so this is the redemption that Fnatic Onic needs against YRG, and we can see actually that in terms of the spell, there is a Purify for the carry. So with this, we could say that for the side of Fnatic Onic, they are more on the aggressive side of their lineup. So well, at least for me, if you're a marksman and you're forced to pick up a Purify as well, it means that you are in a very difficult situation in terms of the early game and even the late game. And after the Purify, it takes how many seconds before it cools down. So they have to be mindful that Innocent is the best target early game for Fnatic Onic.
Yep, and there's many ways for him to get locked down and just die. San has a means of catching him. CW has a means of knocking him away.
Even Kyrie alone.
Oh yeah, Kyrie alone. I mean, Kyrie alone, I think there's no argument there. You're basically dead. You just submit to the king at that point. But looking at the player emblems, I'm not seeing any Master Assassins between the two marksmen, which does indicate that they show respect for each other. They're not looking for lane dominance. They're looking to just scale.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if this gold earners would actually prioritize an item that is more on the defensive side, because again, there's a lot of potential for both teams to go for a gank as early as possible. And again, the play of Unit Red Giants, as said by Churros, is more 4-1. So Innocent has to be safe. He has to be innocent all the time.
I mean, hey, we'll see whether the law is going to catch up to him this time. But I think that right now, Cram is doing a really good job, right? He's already technically gotten a decent trade against Lupti. They will send resources up to the top side because the turtle is about to spawn, and it's really important that both sides hit 4 on time.
Yep, and it's also a good thing for both phosphors to be at this lane, so that it will be a lot easier for them to go into this turtle objective, and at the same time, there's a space for our Phos 5s to be at level 4 prior the turtle take. So far, since we have a Hayabusa and a Julian, in terms of the levels, same at level 5, and yeah, everyone is at level 4. So be prepared for a heavy deal. Nope, Kiboy is still at level 3 though.
Yeah, and pretty early on, Stormy's going to use that Dominator's Ascent, and even the Faraga armor being broken down by the mid lane. Lupti is low, Cram forced the flicker out of there. Lupti losing his own, but in the top side of the map, we find the first kill. SOD connects on to nothing by the skin of their teeth as Sakai finds a double kill 2 minutes into the game.
I thought that Kyrie will be back to kill down Yumsa, but there's no shadow there. So it's a nice kill and a play for Udara Giants. And at the same time, the difference in terms of the levels, again, Kiboy prior to that play isn't at level 4, while Cram was just in front of everyone using that last Insanity. Yep, it's a Phos 5 and an XP lane. But since there's no counter to that play after that last Insanity, everyone from Fnatic Onic just open for any threat from Udara Giants.
The counterplay was CW, hit your SOD. If you hit that SOD, that would have been all yours. But let's talk about some profits. Wait, hold on. So Guys is by himself amongst 3 members. The Oki Shadow kill is out. Quickly uses the enhanced swords to get on out of there. Shadow by Yums. Good read. Can they find the kill? It's Kyrie. No, they do not. Oh, Stormy is able to get the Mind Eater in time as Cram rotates out SOD to predict Skies. Doesn't find it. A double for Stormy on this Zask. YRG just slightly ahead in tempo.
Yep, Stormy's Nightmare X1 was really on point during that time. Also, Udara Giants is now on the lead. 2.1k, 201 for the Zask. And the effectivity of having a Zask in front of, in the middle of a team fight is just being shown here for this match for Fnatic Onic. They have to be mindful of Stormy's ultimate, because if you're in front of, or if you're in the middle of the Nightmare Spawn, you won't be able to see it, the damage from time to time. Oh no, like, wait, why is my health bar at half? Oh, there's a Nightmare Spawn.
Hey man, when that Nightmare Spawn is just sucking you off, there's not much you can do but just take it, right? Unless you walk away, but even then the Dominator's Descent is quite an obnoxious spell to deal with. Speaking of which, Fnatic Onic, they could be setting up a gank down on the bottom side of the map. Innocent is gonna, I mean, they spawn out the Grok instantaneously. He's gonna back away, and Udo Red Giants, they're coming in to respond to try and steal a camp for themselves.
Yeah, and there's a setup play.
The onwards happens. Oh, it's straight into last Insanity, allowing Skies to find the kill. What a read from Udo Red Giants. They do lose out 2 flickers for that play, but they only profit in a kill in Sans.
Yep, and this is where it is shown that for Udo Red Giants, again, for game number 1, Yums is somehow countered by Keyboy's vision of the show, but for this game, he's all over the place as to why the effectivity of the rotation is really visible for game number 2.
Dominator's Descent quickly being dropped after getting hit by the SOD, walled off. A great Nature's Barrier by Keyboy, but the space has been taken, and now the anchor of Udo Red Giants a little far forward, but finally gets to back away. But look at everything that's happening across the map. Top side, Tier 1 gets the fall. Kyrie catches a wave down by mid as well.
And probably Innocent has a better gold against Chewe on this game because, again, so Chewe is at 3.5k and Innocent is at 4.4k. That's a decent, 2 more items needed for a main item. Yeah.
2 components to get to that finish line. Well, ideally the power spike that we're looking for Udu Red Giants, but they're going to take they take the turtle, no contestation whatsoever. Not as bloody as we were expecting from Fnatic Onic, as they don't have much momentum for now, but this gives us a little time to break down and analyze these motions coming up from Fnatic Onic.
Yep, and actually for Fnatic Onic, what they need to do is to have that wild charge. We haven't seen Kiboy do that wild charge flicker, right?
You're right.
So
You're right.
it's like what they did. YRG is doing the same thing as to what Fnatic Onic has been doing game number 1. The surprising plays like that.
Yep, flicker wild charge in straight into the ult. Kiboy finds Storm, but Sakai takes the tower, and now the last Insanity is going to push on forward. Dominators this set, making sure that Lutfi doesn't get to walk away. That was a very fine line of becoming an incredible swing around for Fnatic Onic.
Yep, and I think for Fnatic Onic later on, they have to go to other places to secure a kill, like for example against Sekais, but Sekais is really doing a great job here for Udu Red Giants. 3-0-3 for Julian, and the only crowd control that you have is the Ruby and even the Grok. So after that wild charge and even after the setup play from Ruby, if Sekais isn't burst down, it's going to be a problem here for Fnatic Onic. And now even look at the items, there's a huge difference from Kyrie and Sekais farm. Well, technically even for the heroes more the burst is Sekai's, and you are on the physical side if you're Kyrie.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that much of a goal differential. Let's pull Churros in to kind of break this down for us a little bit. So far, the game is very much in favor of YRG. They're walking away with a bunch of kills under their belt, but is this just a ticking time bomb?
I think that Fnatic Onic just needs a lot more time because Ruby needs to come online, especially in terms of tankability. We've seen how fast Lupi was able to be bursted down, especially by Sakai's. But Udu Red Giants, we said this in the draft, they have a very early game draft.
Yeah.
They have very thick, beefy boys. Moskov also needs a lot of time, so Chiawei really needs to farm those items up. They haven't hit their critical mass just as of yet. But we're going back to the game. Guys, just take it away.
All right, let's see what's the next steps here for both Udu Red Giants as well as Fnatic Onic. As they're slowly encroaching on this space, let's keep in mind, a lot of cross-map plays are being made by both of these top-tier teams, and this purple buff, it's important that they steal it away.
The more that this games extends, actually it's going to be hard for Fnatic Onic because the cramps damage, the true damage, it's going to be really hard for Kiboy to be up front. So the winning condition now for Fnatic Onic is more on the surprising plays or probably a steal. Since this is going to be a Hayabusa versus Julian, it's a lot easier to go for Lord Steal with Hayabusa. But for Fnatic Onic, as long as there is a split push, as long as the minions are flowing on the sides, it's going to be a lot easier for them to counter out Udu Red Giants. But so far for Udu Red Giants with this type of lineup and in a sense effective farming, he now has the golden staff. Actually, in terms of the items, Chiawei and Innocent's item is basically the same. They both have the Crescent Sight and even this golden staff. So it's a matter of positioning for both teams.
All right, speaking of positioning, this Lord's getting low. No steals coming just yet from Fnatic Onic. The SOD coming a little late here. That's going to be Lord slain by Innocent. Udu Red Giants now have the Lord on their side to start pushing into the enemy territory. Let's see how much they're going to get off of this, right? Because like you mentioned, Fnatic Onic, they want some extra time. And I don't think Udu Red Giants is going to let them. They want to cut that time short.
Yeah, and knowing that the lineup Fnatic Onic, it's a bit hard for them to go for the clearing because you don't want to use that eternal...
Oh!
I thought that's the slip of the year that he's never going to forget.
That could have been disastrous.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
But yeah, going back for Fnatic Onic, it's a bit hard if you are defending a Lord. But this is just a level 1 Lord, right? So it's going to be a lot easy for them. But later on, for the other defensive stances that they will do, if you have the Vexana, you don't want to use that Eternal Guard just to defend a Lord, right? So
yeah, that's true.
You want to use it as like an initiative or initiation type of play with a backup on that or another layer for that wild charge.
And let's not forget about the high ground defense coming in from... Oh, wait. Humes does find the Earth Shadow Flicker into the onward, but now it's turning into an all-out brawl as the wild charge opens things up for the team. They're hoping that the high ground is going to be enough. Humes gets on out of there with a primordial foe. Nobody is down just yet, and that's one inhibitor down, and SRG say, that's enough. We're done. We're out of here.
The discipline of Udu Red Giants really on point. on this game. They know how to disengage and when to disengage. After taking that inhibitor turret, they know that they need to go out because for Fnatic Onic, it was Chewo wasn't really part of the team fight, right? He was clearing the minion wave at the middle lane, and the majority of the resources have been already used by Yudo Red Giants. But so far, things are looking good for them. They are on the lead in terms of gold, even the itemization. Demon Hunter sword for Innocent on this game, so expect that he'll be hitting Loot P and even K-Boy.
Oh, yeah, but even though he's hitting, earlier we were talking about like, oh, there's not too much of a lead between both marksmen, but now that we look at it once again, it looks like, man, Innocent has been a little busy here. I'm not going to say that he broke the law or anything, but he's definitely having more gold than he should. He's almost halfway through to getting a Winds of Nature, and that's a big game changer against an assassin.
Yeah, and even actually, we said that the hero or the player that could actually get Innocent is Loot P. Even the item is not meant, or the item, yeah, for Loot P is not meant to counter out or to be in front of a carry. So you have to be prepared like something that would negate that the damage per second given by Innocent. So as this game extends, again, for Fnatic Onic, they need to do their own play. They need not to react on the Yudo Red Giants' aggressiveness, but rather they have to be the ones aggressive. They can do another a contest on this Lord, but it might be different.
It's a little hard, right? Kyrie is 2 levels down. It's an 8.8k lead for Yudo Red Giants. They're just going to blitz this down so fast with the help of Innocent already with his core items complete. And now Fnatic Onic back in the same position like they were before, right? Forced to play to their inhibitors.
Yeah, and you see the damage of San's skill against the Cram. It's really hard for Fnatic Onic to shred this Viraga armor. Imagine you want this Viraga armor to be out or to not be available during a team fight, but since they're lacking on damage, it's really hard for Fnatic Onic to be in front. Even the flamethrowers here of against Loot P shows a lot of damage already against him.
By 8 minutes 32 seconds, you can see the big dip, right? Over to the 9 minute 51 second. It's a 10k gold lead. I feel like this is a checkmate angle, right? They've got more items, they've got more gold, and they've got a a level quote-unquote level 2 Lord walking down on their base. This might just be it, but let's take a breath. Take a moment here. Conceal comes out from Yums, looking at CW, forcing him to get out of the way. This means that mid inhibitor is going to be found, but taking so much damage here, and everybody onto Yums' side, finally exploding at the end. They take Yums out straight away, and now Fnatic Onic might be able to survive another 5 more minutes, only at the cost of their mid inhib.
That is a nice defense for Fnatic Onic, but here's the thing. It took 5 players from Fnatic Onic just to defend or try to take a kill against Yudo Red Giants. So this is going to be a long game. As long as Fnatic Onic is able to clear all the minions and have this flow, they need to take at least first tier turret against Yudo Red Giants. Go for a space wherein Chewe could go for a split push as much as possible. If not Chewe, since the escape route is going to be difficult for him, maybe Kyrie to go for the split push.
Oh, they could. They could actually make that happen here, because right now the map is looking extremely red here. Yudo Red Giants have not lost a single turret just yet, but with the Lord advantage that they had just now, basically a -1 on every single category for the time being. I think that Fnatic Onic at this point of time, as much as we want to say they need to scale up, we're looking for the big play, and I think that big play is going to be coming around Lupti or maybe even Kiboy side. More likely Lupti, because Kiboy still has 45 more seconds until that flicker comes back up.
And for Fnatic Onic, they need to focus on building up, I think, more the physical defensive items so far in this game. But yeah, Yudo Red Giants is doing a great job. Even counting the damage against 2 players of Fnatic Onic, and it's just him without the slow. So see the combo or the layer of skills here from Yudo Red Giants. You have the Zask on the slow, while the last Insanity against Cram, from Cram, so it's kind of difficult here for Fnatic Onic to penetrate.
He's literally a thumbtack. He's the Lego piece that everybody steps on, and they're like, I don't want to walk into this room anymore. Every single time they walk up, it feels like they're getting chunked out. Wait, the Ferraga armor is broken. The Oki Shadow Kill is out. finally breaking his immortality. His Faraga armor is back up now. And Yudu Red Giants, they're rethinking this plan. They're like, okay, we might have lost the space, but we could do something about this. Let's see how they play it out, because they got to worry from the side of FNOC about the top and middle waves.
Okay, so there's a flicker available for Kiboy. Whenever if there's an entry point to either take down Stormy or maybe Innocent, it's gonna be a nice play for Fnatic Onic here. Luti is at the bottom lane or at the middle lane, but there's a vision for you, the Red Giants. I heard a conceal, by the way.
Yep, here he goes. Innocent, he's running forward to get onto CW. They flicker on top of him and they secure the kill. Crab takes it away with the help of Yums with a flicker. Earth Shatter once again. What great timing from Yudu Red Giants. They should be able to secure this, no problems whatsoever. Kyrie shows up on the bottom of the map, but they know that this Lord is in their hands. Kiboy, he's trying to run away, but Innocent, Yums, and Kramer are like, no, you don't get to walk away for free. Last Sandy being committed despite the wild charge, forcing him to flicker, and they trade flickers. I'm offended to pull Cram back, and here comes the ult from Sans. They trade. Keyboy goes down. I'm trying to think if that is worth it, and with the Luminous Lord walking at their base in front of their crystal, this might just be it. Oki Shadow Kill to try and even the tides, but it's done. It's over. The equalization from the Yudu Red Giants.
And we could see on their faces how happy they are